Rod Woodson on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Roderick?
Hey, Richie Rich, how are you?
I'm hanging in there. Troy Polamalu hangs them up. And Bill Cowher said that the only other person that he ever coached that had the mindset, the preparation, the excellence like him was you. And he equated him to you. What do you say when you hear that, Rod?
Well, I met Troy a couple years ago when I was over at the Steelers facility. And first of all, he's a great human being. If they had a Hall of Fame for that, he would go in today. But he was a unique player and one of those guys that could understand the system, and he had a unique feel for the game. And, he let what he saw on the field, he believed it, and he wasn't afraid to pull that trigger, so to speak, and try to make plays for his defense.
So why was he so successful in the Dick LeBeau defense that you know so well, Rod?
Well, Dick LeBeau, first of all, allowed him to do that. He saw his skill set. He saw what he could do. And, he told Troy, hey, I'm good with when you see something, you believe it, go do it. But try to do it within the framework of the defense and don't put anybody in harm's way. And he did it for quite a long time. I talked to him about football, and he understands the defenses, just as good, if not better, than the coaches. He understands the weaknesses of the defense. He understands what offense can do to you, and he plays to that.
Rod Woodson, Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. Would you put him in the Hall of Fame first ballot with you, Rod?
That's a hard one, Rich. I really think he's was a great player. I think he played solid football. He had 8 Pro Bowls, but I don't know how much you can measure the Pro Bowls anymore, but you can measure the All-Pros. I think he had a great commercial for his hair.
Yes.
Also, I don't know if he's a first ballot Hall of Famer because when I saw he retired, I looked up his numbers.
Yep.
And then I kind of compared his numbers to the guy that coached him for the last couple of years in Carnell Lake. And they both played 12 years. And Carnell numbers was really better than his in almost every category outside of the touchdowns and the interceptions. But forced fumbles, fumble recovery, sacks, those things, his numbers were better. The tackles, he had more tackles. So I don't know. He did make more Pro Bowls than Carnell. He definitely made more All-Pros than Carnell. So that'll come into play. I don't know if he's a first ballot. I do know that he was a tremendous player. I think he will be in the Hall of Fame. But I think when you put somebody like that in whose numbers are comparable to somebody else, then you have to look at that other person, even though accolades-wise, meaning Pro Bowls and All-Pros he didn't have, talking about Colonel Lake, then you have to look at somebody like Colonel Lake.
So would you put Ed Reed in first ballot, Rod?
Yeah, I would put Ed Reed in first ballot. And I think I put Ed Reed in first ballot because he made so many plays, and so did Troy differently, but I think Troy was a big-time playmaker of the ball. And I think he had 60, I think Ed has like 60-something odd interceptions where Troy had 30, I think 35. And safeties is a little harder to get interceptions than corners, but, Ed Reed did it. And I just think he was a really, really special safety in the National Football League. I think Ed would be a first ballot. And I'm not saying that Troy won't be a first ballot, but I don't know if I was voting if I would put him in the first ballot, but I think he'll eventually be a Hall of Famer.
Rod Woodson joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. How do you like what you're doing, Rod? How do you like it?
I love it. It's football. There's no other sport better than football.
Well,
I get to eat it and sleep it and drink it every day.
So what are you doing, for those who may not know, that you've joined the staff of Jack Del Rio in Oakland?
Well, I'm the assistant DB coach with Marcus Robinson. Marcus Robinson's the head DB coach. And then Tim Norton Jr. is our D coordinator. So we have a light, fun staff. And, we're just right now, we got phase 1 of our OTAs. So we get to sit here and look at film and cut up film and talk to the guys and try to get our different positional stuff ready for when we do step on the field.
How's Charles Woodson? How's your cousin that you say is not your cousin? How's he doing?
Oh, his last name is Woodson. He's ready. he's gonna ball out just like he did last year. I mean, last year he had over 1,000 plays. He had over 100 tackles. Mm-hmm. He had 4 interceptions. I mean, the guy, he's a little older, but he's still a playmaker.
Now, I say that's a first ballot Hall of Famer right there, Rod.
That would be true. From the University of Michigan.
That's correct.
He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And because,
yes,
not because he went to the University of Michigan, because his last name is Woodson.
All right, I'll accept that. I know you're trying to get my goat a little bit there. And with you and Ken Norton on the same staff, those are the two people I did more NFL Total Accesses with as an analyst than anybody else in my 8 years on the gig every single day at NFL Total Access. You know that, Rod.
We talk about that every now and then in his office.
You do?
Yeah, we talk about Richie Rich.
What do you say?
All good things, man. How nice you were, how much professional,
okay,
how good you were at ad-libbing and talking about things. I mean, hey, everybody can't do that.
No, I appreciate you saying that, Rod. Thank you. I knew my ears were burning, but I had no idea it was from the Ken Norton Jr. office with you.
Yeah, it's right here from the Oakland Raiders facility.
Okay. Are you watching the Masters at all? You sneaking a peek at what's going on in Augusta?
I am not watching the Masters, but I heard Tiger's playing well.
Yeah, I think he's going to make the cut, Rod.
Well, there we go. That's a start for him again.
I think he's going to make the cut. All right. Well, listen. You take care of yourself. Say hi to your family, your brood, and everybody up there at Oakland. I appreciate you chiming in, calling. We miss you, Rod. We miss you. Del Rio gained an all-world individual and Hall of Famer for his staff, and you got to be around the sport you love. You can't breathe it and eat it enough. But we lost having you part of the Rich Eisen show, Rod.
And I miss you guys. I do cry myself to sleep at night at times.
If there's anything I can do to help that process, Rod, I'm here for you, okay?
I appreciate that.
You're the best. Take care of yourself, Rod.
All right, take care.
You bet. That's Roderick.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.